Welcome back to the Wilmot Recreation Center here on Sunday afternoon. I'm Mark Schutzkowski with your play-by-play today. Alongside me is Jason Chenier. Jason, we got game 4 here. Wilmot Wild trailing 2-1, took the first game, went up to Peterborough, and came up on the short end of both games. What are you hoping to see out of both teams or expecting to see out of both teams today?
Well, first of all, when you look on paper before the series started, we thought we would have 2 evenly matched teams. Game 1, the Wild did win, not in convincing fashion, but game 2 and 3 up in Peterborough, the Lakers really took it to the Wild and really seized control of this series. 2-1, it's a number. With a Wild win today, it could be the best of 3.
Yeah, exactly. It's not a do-or-die game for the Wild here, but definitely not wanting to go down 3-1 and then hit the road back up to Peterborough, where the game style is quite a bit different on that kind of floor. Not do or die, like I said, by any means, but definitely one that they are going to come out with some sense of urgency today.
Yeah, like you said, and that's exactly what they're going to need. They're going to need to ensure that some of the shortcomings that they had in Peterborough don't transition into their game today. And the first and most important part is that not that long bus ride, that 2.5-3 hour bus ride.
Yeah, Peterborough, not to take anything away from them, they have been fantastic offensively. Those guys can really move the ball around. They got 3 of the top leading scorers in the regular season on their left side. And their right side, their righties are strong as well. Wilmot's bread and butter is their tough, strong defense. Working on keeping the shooters outside, but Peterborough has really given them a full handful with that task.
Absolutely. In game 2 and 3, I think even though Peterborough is known for their strong offense, it was their defense that really took it to the Wild and really kind of almost took their will to compete away from them, almost.
So we're going to draw your attention down to the floor here today, where we're going to have a little bit of a pre-game presentation by the Wilmot Wild president, Wayne Paddock.
First of all, what I introduce our Type E provincial champion,
nice gesture by Wayne Paddock, president of the Wilmot Wild and the entire Wilmot Wild organization, for acknowledging and honoring the volunteer work of Sean Norris and Dan Liebolt. And that's a success of any team at this level of organization, is the volunteers that step forward and do the work behind the scenes. So
absolutely. Dan Liebold's been a big part of this franchise for a long time, and as you heard Wayne mention, deeply involved in Canadian junior hockey with the Kitchener Rangers, and coming up for the upcoming tournament in December, January with the World Canadian Juniors.
And I'm sure none of them, they would like nothing more than for the Wilmot Wild to extend this series and force it to go longer and even up this series. We got Andrew Chenier is starting goaltender for the Wilmot Wild, and Andrew Lagana is the starting netminder for the Peterborough Lakers. And the Wilmot Wild gain possession first. They bring it down to Matt Wyman. Matt Wyman looking for an outlet, working off of a screen. Drops it down to Colton Best, who finds a streaking Sam Drominski, and he scores right off the hop, Jason. 19:33 mark of the first period. That is the kind of start the Wilmot Wild needed.
Absolutely. Sam Drominski just coming down with a cheeky little over the shoulder toss. Too much for Lagana, who might have been following the runner a little bit too much and left that open. Well-placed ball.
Nice opening goal by the 2018 Junior C Rookie of the Year, Sam Drominski, and I've really become a fan of his play this year.
How can you not? He does everything that he needs to do to win. He's totally committed to this team. If Coach Rick asked him to fill water bottles and not take a shift, he would do it, and he'd be the best at it.
Tyler Grandel wins the draw for the Peterborough Lakers, and they gain possession, and they're bringing up their high, potent offense. Got Adam Churchill with the ball, drops it over to Robinson. Robinson off the goalie Chenier, and they will retain possession. Fresh 30 for another offensive set. Ferguson with the ball. Runs it up. Looking for a lane himself. Drops it over to the left side. Looks like Carter Page with the ball. It's up to Adam Churchill. He tries a backhander, but Chenier is there to stop the ball.
Yeah, a little bouncing backhander could spell trouble for a number of goalies. Luckily, Andrew Chenier had his position set and was able to corral that ball.
So Chenier logging most of the minutes here for the Wilmot Wild. Reed Fitton did get into game 2 and 3 up in Peterborough, but it's the kind of game style he has. Good positional goalie, and if the defense does his job, they're going to make that tough on the Peterborough Lakers staff. So Ryan Buller makes his comeback after missing a few games, 1 and 2, comes back in game 3, but now he makes the 2-0 lead with an outside blast for the Wilmot Wild.
And this is definitely not the Andrew Lagana that we saw in Peterborough in game 3. As the Lakers were starting to run away with it, the Wild offense was still pressing, and Lagana was still forced to make some very, very good saves, which he did. I put that win game 3 solely on his shoulders.
Yeah, I believe it was Rob Martinell who did the color commentary for game 2 or 3, pointing out that Andrew Lagana was a field goalie primarily until his Bantam year, when he started putting on the box equipment, which usually works the other way around. So
yeah, it's
really see that agility in him on the field side.
And a field goalie, you're no fear. Clearly, that's next level kind of concern.
Crazy.
We'll call it that.
Yeah, they need some good stick skills for sure. Anyway, Varutis has the ball. He's looking for more. Oh, just misses Fenoro on the feed, but they're going to get an interference call and a fresh 30. And Fenoro is somebody that the Wilmot Wild would love to start really get going. He's a big presence there, find some open floor, and if he can start finding the back of the net, that would really serve their
Absolutely.
purposes.
Luke Fenoro missed a bit of time closer to the end of the regular. He's shaken off the rust, though, and he's had some key playoff goals for the Wild so far this season.
There's Nick Webb pressing down at the floor, but the Wilmot Wild come back with it. 10 seconds left on the shot clock, so they'll be looking for a reset. and called for the too many men, so they turn the ball over to the Peterborough Lakers. And they're going to be looking to strike back and close this gap. Robinson with the ball, he's up top, looks to feed over to Bradshaw. Bradshaw misses it, and the Wild come up with it. And it's over to Braden Hahn, who starts the transition. Drops it over to Buller. Buller back to Hayden Berger. Oh, and Berger loses the ball, trying to feed it back to Buller, but he's working to get it back. Creates a loose ball.
There's no give up in Hayden Berger, I'll tell you. He gave up the ball there, but he's fighting hard to get it back.
And Cam Crowley doing all he can just to keep the ball, but he does lose it.
And look who came up with it.
Sam Draminsky with the ball up top. Drops it over to Nagy. Nagy slips, but it's like an interference call on Draminsky, so it'll go Peterborough Lakers ball. Adam Churchill with the ball, driving it down the boards. Cuts across to the middle. Swings it back over to Robinson. Nice save by Chenier, but Robinson picks up his rebound. Still has the ball, goes behind the net. And they try to bounce it off of Chenier's back, but
it's
hit the crossbar, I think.
Yeah, and it looks like the Lakers are getting a penalty here.
Chenier heads to the bench. Dylan Kunz has the ball. Waits for his offense to come and set it up, but Vrudis takes the shot.
And not a bad play to try. If you're behind the net and you see a back the size of Chenier's, you're going to try and bank it off it.
So John Vandergiesen making the call here on the Peterborough Lakers. Not quite sure what the call was, if there's illegal cross check, it looks like.
Yep.
And our other referee for today is Kyle Coulter. So Wilmot Wild will get their first shot at the power play here. Ken Radburn up top with the ball. On the left side, you got Fenoro and Tyler Vrudis down at the crease. And Sam Draminsky with Tyler Nagy as the lefties on the right side of the floor.
Mike Robinson getting that call. He's leading his team in points in the playoffs. He had a phenomenal game in Game 3 with 8 points. But he is kind of creeping high on the penalty minutes as well. This is going to be 24 penalty minutes for him now for the playoffs.
Some good movement by the Wild, but an errant pass creates a loose ball, and Lagana has it, and he passes it up. Tyler Grandel, nice clear into the offensive zone, and they will look to kill off some minutes, maybe get a reset, and burn off some more time off this power play. Over to Matt Smith. A couple of the transition guys getting some look. Oh, nice look inside there by Aaron Bradshaw. Chenier makes a nice stop, and the Wild have it, and they bring it back up. Tyler Nagy flips it over to Radburn. Radburn over to Draminsky. Draminsky down to Nagy. Back up to Draminsky. Tries to make a seal off for Radburn. Nice almost hit Draminsky in the middle, but he misses it. Vrudis tries a cross crease pass over to Nagy, but that's intercepted as well. And they give the ball back. Draminsky with it. Feeds it up to Nagy and just misses the net. And Sam Draminsky handball. Am I quite sure he's doing a little handcuff there? And
yeah, he didn't like the way it was bouncing, and he tried to control it best he could. Unfortunately, that's not legal in this game, and he got possession changes over to the Lakers.
Oh, the backspin caught him there in kind of an awkward position. So it's down to about 20 seconds here. So it looks like the Peterborough Lakers will almost get to work off the penalty, but they give it away.
Yeah, good stick by Matty Wyman there, picking that cross pass.
It's about 5 seconds will be at even, so they'll be watching that they don't give a big loose ball going back down the floor to the guy coming out the box. Berger over to Buller. Buller feeds it down to Wyman, and Wyman tries to go back.
Great save by Lagana there.
Excellent save. Stuck with him. Going to the left and back to the right. Buller over to Radburn, and Radburn bouncer, just nice save by Lagana. Berger picks up the ball. Radburn behind the net, tries to feed to Berger in front, but couldn't grab the handle on that. And Matt Smith now with the ball. Oh, rifles one off the far post.
That ball had some English on it. It was a knuckleball.
What a shot by Matt Smith. That's a game of inches here, Jason, isn't it?
Absolutely, absolutely. I mean, you hit a post, and if the ball's spinning in the right direction, it could save a goalie or truly handcuff a goalie. In this case, Andrew Chenier is saying thank you very much to his post right there.
So we got Wilmot Wild penalty. Ryan Smart heading to the box. And we're going to get our first look at the Peterborough power play. Robinson up top. He's got a deadly shot. Too many men on that call, so bench penalty. Ryan Smart serving it. Next to our eye in the sky, Matt Carruck. Where would we be without him?
And
one off
post.
the crossbar.
That shot had some velocity on it. It moved the net off its goal line.
Mike Robinson just rifles one off the crossbar. Another example of that high potent offense that these Peterborough Lakers can possess. And that's something the Wild will have to do to disrupt that. If that's what they're good at, they are going to have to shut that down and figure that out.
Yeah, individually, the Lakers bring a lot of skill to the table, but they're very well coached, and their power play schemes are very effective. Great save by Chenier there.
That is some ball movement, and Chenier showing some agility for a big man. Those are the kind of ones that went in net for the Peterborough Lakers last week, and they strike on this one, but they made it a little tougher on them. They can really found the open man, and Mike Robinson makes this a 2-1 game on the power play.
That's a tough one there. I mean, Peterborough's moving the ball well. They get Chenier not quite set and beat him low after a serious string of saves that he had made.
So Robinson makes no mistake on that shot. 2-1 game. Great intensity by both teams here.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. When you're at this stage in the playoffs, they have to leave it all on the floor, whether you're the home team or the visiting team. And I think that's one thing that Wilmot kind of lacked in the trips to Peterborough.
So it looks like Grandel won the draw and put it where he wanted to, but great effort by the Wilmot Wild ball team to come up with that loose ball, and they have possession here. Nice comeback after a goal to get possession and see if they can strike back. Nagy with the ball down in the corner, tries to find Wyman at the crease, just misses the mark. Crease call called by referee John Vandergiesen. And the Peterborough Lakers will bring it up. Cal Davis with the ball, puts a move on his player, and misses the far side there as Chenier sticks his leg out and makes a nice save.
Used the Wilmot defender as a bit of a screen and put it back over his shoulder where Chenier was, and cheating a bit to move to his left side, but still managed to get a piece of it.
Buller swings it over to Radburn. Radburn tries to roll off his man. Good defense by Hoover. Brutus over to Radburn. Radburn tries to go up high, but Lagana gets his shoulder in the way, deadens the ball. And Peterborough Lakers bring it up. Over to Churchill in front. Nice save by Chenier. Churchill wide open in front of the net. Chenier closes the door.
Oh, and the ball just gets knocked out of Buller's stick, but he managed to corral it.
Ball over to Fenoro, and there we go.
Nice.
Great effort by Buller. Gets a shot, gets his rebound, feeds Fenoro going to the net. Wilmot Wild up 3-1.
Yeah, Buller doing the lion's share of the work here. After the save from Chenier, loses the ball in the corner, finds Fenoro, who just gets it over Lagano's shoulder. And great goal by Fenoro.
So it is a start that the Wilmot Wild needed here, halfway through the first period, but I'm sure Coach Rick Wendell and Kevin Miller are reminding the guys that this is a 60-minute game, and against a team like the Peterborough Lakers, you're going to make sure you're playing 60 minutes.
Absolutely, 100%.
So Cal Davis with the ball, waiting for his line change. Over to Churchill. Nice save by Chenier. I think the Wild are fighting for the ball. And they move it up. Dylan Kuntz with the ball. Down in the corner, waiting for his teammates to come. Swings it back up to Verutis. Verutis over to Finoro. Some good passing plays there. Draminsky fighting for that loose ball again. Shot clock winding down to 5 seconds. Oh, tries to hit Verutis at the crease, but
he had Tyler Verutis wide
on the bench. They cut.
Churchill moving the ball so well. You can see he had a wide open shot there, opted for the pass off, which paid off. And this high potent Peterborough offense keeps putting markers on the board with the power play.
Another win by Tyler Grandel, who's done a great job on the draw for the Lakers. Feeds it up to Crowley. Crowley swings it over to Davis. Davis up top, waiting for his teammates. Over to Robinson, back to Davis. Davis takes a look. Flips it back to Robinson. Robinson working one-on-one. A little screen by Davis. Tries to hit the crease. But a great job by the Wild defense. Burning the 30-second clock on the...
Definitely keeping the ball to the outside there, not giving much up on the inside. Letting Chenier see exactly where the ball was, and low percentage shot that missed the net altogether from Peterborough.
Ryan Buller over to Berger. Berger working out back to Buller. Buller rolling off his man. Big, strong righty, and he scores! Great job by Buller, using his size, free up that shot, getting his hands free, and makes a well-placed shot. Restore a 3-goal lead. Here
we see Buller just getting the ball in the low post and just taking it to that defender, not giving up and just letting one rip, an underarm shot that beats Lagana and gives the Wild back their 3-goal lead. That's the kind of effort that we've seen from Buller all year long.
And the Wilmot Wild get possession again here. That makes a big of a difference when they can possibly get a few more shots on Lagana and control the play here. Berger with the ball, driving down the side, tries to feed Russ. Oh, crease violation there. It was close.
Oh, it was very close. A nice shot by Radbourne. Just had his shoelace in the crease.
Some of those crease calls, they get kind of funny. You step in the crease and it's a crease violation, but if you dive and don't touch in, you can almost take out the goalie on some of those calls. So
yeah, exactly. And at the rate of speed these players are moving at, it's a challenge at the best of times for the referees to be able to see when the ball was released, see where the player's foot is, and
yeah, I was listening to Jimmy Wasson with game number 2 and 3, and when he was talking about even the moving picks, how that's changed quite a bit from his day as well. So, still some great athletes playing this game, but the style of game has definitely changed over the years.
Oh, most definitely. Most definitely. But some great lacrosse so far in this Meredith Cup final series.
Yes, absolutely. You know, I think junior scene, you might, it was affectionately called the jungle for many years, but these teams have shown a lot of skill and a lot of finesse and have rewarded us with some great entertainment in this series.
Definitely. I think it speaks highly to the level of talent here in the province. The jungle, as you referred, I've heard it called that as well, and now you're seeing some high-level skill.
Draminsky finds his way in front of the net, tries to go far side.
Great save by Lagana, not giving up on it, following Draminsky all the way in and able to get a piece of that.
Went off the goalie, so they regain possession here. Buller with the ball. And he looks for a strike, but his shot goes wide. Verutis slips, his shot goes wide. And Buller with the ball again. Still 15 seconds on the shot clock. Back to Buller, and he takes a drive. releases a little bit high on 3 of those shots in that possession. And Chenier will just dump that ball down deep, as they'll get a change of offensive and defensive personnel for the Wild and the Lakers, respectively.
Tyler Verutis been a little bit snake-bitten since game 1, only racking up a couple of points in Peterborough, none in game 3. So we're hoping to see Tyler Verutis come out and show us why he was a point leader for this Wilmot Wild club.
Robinson with a big wide shot, big rebound down the floor. Shot clock winding down to 5. They look for maybe a last reset there, and Carter Page almost gets his shot off, streaking down from the top shooter's position, but just misses the net as well, too.
Yeah, good vision by the Lakers there. With 5 seconds left on the clock, still able to make one good pass and have 1 shot opportunity.
Wyman rolling off his man, back up top. Berger giving him a little bit of room, tries to feed where Berger on the pick and roll. Just misses, but they get a possession call. Berger with the ball, tries to cut around the crease. Closed off by the Lakers defense, tries to hit Radburn in front, just misses. And Crowley picks up the ball, and he's streaking down to the net. He has a man on the far side, just misses. Trying to turn his body and couldn't quite make that pass, but he picks up the loose ball here. There's still 15 seconds left. And they might get a shot off. Getting down to the last minute of play here in the first period. And Ferguson trying to get a reset, but hits the big gut of Chenier, and he corrals the loose ball. And Brett Liebold flips it up to Radburn. Wilmot Wild looking for good scoring opportunity or a reset here and hold possession for the rest of the period, but they cough it up. And Kyle Davis is streaking down all alone. And he scores are off the post, off the back of Chenier. It looks like it's snuck back in. And that's a big goal for the Lakers here with just under 30 seconds left.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, as a goalie, you want to finish the period strong. But just some sloppy passing in the offensive zone led to the breakaway. Chenier off the post. It looks like he knocked it in as he swept his leg across to try and prevent it from going into the net. Just some bad luck there.
Yeah, bang, bang, but 1 possession here. And Buller's got the ball. And Bessie's trying to get free here as he's being pressed by Grander. Up to Wyman, he's going to look for 1 last shot here, about 15 seconds left in the first period. Wyman drives in front. Oh, crease violation. Peterborough with less than 10 seconds left here, brings it up. They're going to look to see if they can get a last second scoring opportunity. Hits Churchill in front, and they get their shot off, but Chenier with a huge save to end the period. So 5-3 lead by the Wild. They would take that, but it could have been even better in their favor with a few key, without a few key mental lapses.
Absolutely. I think in the offensive zone, just some loose passing, causing some turnovers, and that's exactly what you do not want to give the Lakers is an opportunity on a fast break, whether it's an odd man rush or a breakaway, because at their skill level, they're going to bury that more often than not.
Okay, we will be back in a couple minutes with Junior C Commissioner Reg Hollingshead for a short interview in this intermission. That's it for the first period. Wilmot Wild up 5-3. We'll see you in a couple minutes. Welcome back, fans, and I got a guest with me here at the intermission, Reg Hollingshead, the commissioner of the Junior C League here. 2-1 series, won handily by Peterborough Lakers in the first, or game 2 and 3 up in Peterborough. Is this the kind of start to the game 4 that you expected?
Yeah, kind of. I think Wilmot won the first game back here, the really big third period. They scored 9 or something like that in the third period to break it open. The 2 games down in Peterborough, Wilmot started out well in the second game. Peterborough dominated the first game over there. Wilmot started real strong in the second game. They were actually up 3-1, I think it was at one point. And then Peterborough came roaring back and finished off big. So nothing surprises me in this series. This 5-3 lead for Wilmot now looks like it's pretty good, but it may last 2 minutes the way things are happening with these two guys.
So Jason and I were talking about the reputation Junior C has had over the years and affectionately called the jungle, and how one of your initiatives this year, along with the cooperation of all the teams, is to get a lot of that stuff cleaned up here, and we've been rewarded by some fantastic lacrosse in this series already.
Absolutely. I think all the stupid stuff that we did have got cleaned up sort of midway through the regular season for the most part. We had a couple of exceptions, but generally it was cleaned up a lot. And playoffs, you've seen nothing but fast, hard lacrosse. Tough lacrosse, but not a lot of the stupid stuff. So I'm glad to see that gone. Refs have clamped down a little bit. We've came back with some heavier suspensions maybe than have been used in the past. And it looks like it's paid off with dividends for us here.
Yeah, what better way? I mean, this is a place where a lot of players may not be playing junior lacrosse. It'd not be for the Junior C League.
For sure.
And the Wilmot Wild in particular have a number of fifth-year players, and the Lakers have a couple themselves. And, for them to have good positive experiences in a league like this might encourage them to continue to play on lacrosse beyond junior.
Absolutely.
And that's kind of our segue into the next topic, is you're one of the other hats that you wear is being behind the bench on a senior B team. And extend the congratulations to you and your teams. You just won the Ontario Championships with the Oakville Titans yesterday and heading out to Nanaimo. But is that a place where you're looking for players to come up from Junior B, Junior C, and
for sure?
So
I think we've sort of advertised the Junior C League as the stepping stone of Ontario Lacrosse, and the stepping stone for stars to move up through the ranks from minors into intermediate, maybe into Junior C, Junior B, and then it was nice to see several of our Junior C clubs this year elevate players to Junior A leagues, which is awesome. They've obviously developed and spent some time with the C's and gotten better, make that big jump. And then obviously, as you said, moving from the juniors up into the senior ranks, don't have to go straight to the majors. You can go to the senior B ranks. Some good lacrosse being played there as well. So, I mean, once you're finished the minors, it sure isn't over. There's lots of opportunities for you to move on and play somewhere else.
Yeah, what's also another opportunities within the OLA is the field side of things as well too. It's a little bit more laid back at a few of those divisions, but you got senior men's box, the junior field league, minor goes in the spring and the fall as well. And I'd be remiss if I didn't mention that Andrew Lagana and Nate Allen for the Peterborough Lakers will be representing Team Ontario at the First Nations Trophy U18 Championships in Oshawa on the Labor Day long weekend. So lots of lacrosse opportunities for players throughout this league.
Absolutely. It's nice to see players go back and forth between field and box. Obviously, it helps their stick game, helps them develop their skills in both fields. So it's nice to see a lot. Actually, a lot of the minor clubs now have it's almost rare because you play one, you play both. And it's great to see them in their stick in their hand for the most part. A lot of players almost a full year now. Winter League's developing as well, so it's great to see.
I mean, we'll close it off. Were you down in Oshawa in Whitby, Durham area for the provincials this fall? That was a big capstone for the Ontario Lacrosse Association.
I was down there on the weekend with our senior women's team, which I also coach, and great to see all the kids around the festival. Vendors out selling their stuff and that kind of stuff. Great shopping experience, great lacrosse experience. Kids love it. Parents maybe not so much sometimes, but it's a great to see literally thousands and thousands of kids playing lacrosse in one center.
Yeah, fantastic event for sure. A lot of energy there. So wrapping this up, Reg, what are you expecting to see for the rest of this game and moving forward?
I'm going to predict a win by one of the teams. east. So these swing back to the
BI Sports Network.
Thanks, sure. Thanks, bud.
Thanks.
Yep.
Welcome back, fans, to the Wilmot Recreation Complex here, where the second period is ready to start here. I'm Mark Schitzkowski with the play-by-play, alongside Jason Chenier with the color commentary. And what a first period we had. Great action back and forth. Both teams showing tons of skill, Jason.
Absolutely. I mean, here we see Peterborough beating Chenier from far out. Robinson again, just moving the ball well on the power play, just getting their goals. And then the last goal to end the first period on the breakaway, Chenier gets a piece but ends up knocking it into his own net.
And Wilmot Wild came out with the start that they needed, popping 5 in on their own, and took the lead early, have not relinquished it, but that is exactly the start that they needed in this game.
Yeah, I think moving forward, if I'm Coach Rick in the locker room between periods, I'm telling them to just keep up doing what they're doing right here in the first, moving to the net with the ball. Here, as we see
This gap here, post. Let's pick it up. One of their AP call-ups.
State for his player running behind the net and set a pick, but Randy Borges is definitely having a conversation with some of the Lakers there. Looks like Chenier is going to be okay as Leibold comes out to tend to him.
So the intensity picking up a little bit here in the last couple minutes, culminates in that you see on the replay here, Jason.
Yeah.
Let's see what comes out of this. The referees have a bit of a discussion.
You don't want to see you want to see your goalie active in the play and making creating real estate for their players with setting a pick and things like that. You don't want to see them getting hurt, but it looks like Chenier is going to be okay. He's just kind of walking around. A couple of Lakers are having a conversation with him, probably asking him some nice restaurant spots to hit in the Wilmot Kitchener area.
So third referee, our technical referee, Phil Kluche, comes out to make sure that nobody else is getting into play. So good job by Phil Kluche on that scrum and talking to the benches.
A little hooliganism between Chenier and some of the Lakers. Chenier walked out, put the ball on the dot, and one of the Laker players just batted it back towards him. Definitely we're going to see the intensity pick up from here.
So I'm not quite sure what the hold up here. Kyle Coulter explaining to the captains what's going on. We have nothing up on the board yet, but it's going to be, looks like John Vandergiesen is pointing that it's going to be Peterborough Laker ball. Maybe time for a good plug here for the JVI Sports Network. Great supporters of the game of lacrosse. Fantastic guys. We've got Gary Morrison doing our camera work here. Matt Kruk is doing a fantastic job at Control Center. And some really cool guy named Adam working on our replays doing a fantastic job.
They do great work, that's for sure. If especially with the kilometers between Wilmot and Peterborough, if you don't want to miss a game, this is an excellent opportunity to be able to stay in touch with the game. And
a couple of these guys will be heading down to Turtle Island, Akwesasne for the Founders Cup coming up this week, of which the my beloved Allura Mohawks are going to be representing Ontario for the national championship. So congratulations to those boys, and we wish you well on your trip.
Yeah, a hard-fought series against Clarington. They did a great job. They had a fantastic season, and just catching a couple of those games in Allura, that barn was just packed full. You couldn't get anybody else in there with a shoehorn if you wanted to.
No, they love the lacrosse up there, and great crowd here today here at the Wilmot Rec Complex for Game 4 of the 2008 Junior C Championships between the Wilmot Wild and the Peterborough Lakers. And looks like we got some minutes up on the board there, so two penalties each, 2 minutes across the board. But looks like there's a few more bodies on the floor than what that would indicate. Okay, they just took one off for the Wild.
And typically 3-on-3 or 4-on-4, I'd love to watch the Wild in that type of situation, but against Peterborough in this situation, you get that speed and the precision passing and shots. It's just a recipe for scoring, especially with that much more open floor space.
Yeah, I don't think they would mind that at all, but now it looks like maybe there's going to be some offsetting, some majors perhaps out of that. Further discussion on this, Jason, but what's Peterborough going to be doing here, and whatever comes out of this, what are they going to be looking to happen over the next course of 12 minutes, 13 seconds here in the second period?
Definitely down by 3. They're going to want to move the ball and put the pressure on Wilmot. Try and steal that momentum back. The momentum they created, in the second period is maintain that with this lapse and just move the ball and get their shots open. It looks like the Wild have got a decent set of defenders here with Best Sister and Liebold, so they've got their defensive specialists on the floor to counteract that.
Okay, here we go. Looks like we're going to have 3-on-3 action here, just as you called, Jason. So a little wide open floor here for the highly skilled offensive players of the Peterborough Lakers. See if they can close the gap here a little bit. Carter Page with the ball, working on Colton Bess. Good matchup there as Carter Page is driving in the net, but Colton Bess makes a great job of pushing him down. Nice feed in front, and yes. A nice save by Chenier. But a possession call against the boards gives the ball back to the Lakers.
Liebold just a little bit too aggressive there, giving the ball back to the Lakers. Ooh, high shot.
Robinson with that high blast. Chenier looks to be okay. Robinson over to Page. Ferguson and Robinson, the lefties, out on the floor. As Ferguson comes over, tries to create some room for Carter Page. Big rebound there to Robinson, but Chenier stands tall and makes another beautiful save. Not sure what had happened there. His face mask strap was undone, and he played the ball, so it looks like there's going to be another penalty here.
Yeah, Brett Liebold scooped up that loose ball, and it looks like he kind of got held at center there, so they're going to call that. Bullard bringing it in.
It's Draminsky at the crease, but no shot there. So they got a few minutes on the shot clock there. Draminsky with the ball, tries to feed it over to Bullard. He's going to look for the shot and doesn't quite get through. And yes, it looks like we got a hold behind the play. So that's key because that'll stack their penalties for the Peterborough Lakers, and he will not have his penalty start, I don't believe, until somebody comes out of the box.
Yeah, and man advantage for Wilmot, definitely one of their strong suits all year. You see they've been able to rotate in that shooter position between Radbourne and Verutis. Fenoro's taking some time at the top with Nagy as well. They've got two decent power play lines that can move the ball and score.
So we got Draminsky, so it's still going to be 3-on-3 action here for about 40 seconds. And then, if I'm reading this correctly, it will be 5-on-4 for 2 minutes when the Wilmot Wild will get their penalty. So,
and not the type of scenario that the coaches spend a great deal of time practicing is a 3-on-3. You just try and, I would imagine, Mark, you would, as a coach, you would just try and get your talent on the floor, maybe like a 4-on-4 situation, and with one man less, just try and stick to that type of game plan with ball movement.
Yeah, well, it definitely comes down to some drills here and a little bit of shinny lacrosse here with some 3-on-3. So this is when the athlete side of the players will definitely shine here, and we had a good look at what Peterborough could do on their last possession. And we'll see what we got. Berger, Buller are the righties on the floor for the Wilmot Wild. And Sam Draminsky, the lefty, he'll be working on the right-hand side. So we'll see what they can do here with a full 30 of 3-on-3.
And Draminsky and Berger, they were up there in regular season scoring, but between the two, they're leading their club in playoff scoring.
Buller tries to drive to the net, but he misses the net. Or no, he got a reset out of that and picks up his own rebound. Now he's in front of the net. Nice feed by Berger, but just a little bit off balance, and Lagana stands tall and makes a nice save and gives the ball back to the Lakers, which will be key here because their man down situation will start in about 5 seconds. Lakers working it up top. Shot clock winding down to about 5 seconds. And he just tries to put it on net and gets a big rebound there. Almost picks it up for the Wild. And Bradshaw was right there, almost picking up the loose ball in front.
It looks like Jensen, or no, sorry, that wasn't Jensen Walker.
That was Bradshaw and Leibold mixing up in the back there, tangled up.
Didn't want to let go of Leibold's leg.
So Radbourne with the ball, working it with Fenoro, and he rifles one off the crossbar and out of bounds, and they will get the ball back. Fenoro with a good job pacing with Cal Davis, who was streaking down the floor. Radbourne working with Draminsky, goes cross down the crease, up to Radbourne again at the top. Down to Nagy, tries to go cross crease to Verutis. And Radbourne almost sneaks it through, but Lagana makes a nice save and covers the rebound for the Lakers. Matt Smith brings it up for the Lakers over center, swings it over to Adam Churchill. Churchill up top. They'll look to set something up. 5-on-4 action with the Wild still on the power play here. Trying not to give up any shorthanded opportunities here, but Churchill working his way in front, but ran out of real estate there and just tried to shovel it in, but hit the back of the net.
Yeah, just Churchill swimming his way through the Wild D there to get a one-handed shot off, but just too little too late.
So it looks like one more possession here by the Wild. Looks like the penalty and the shot clock are dead even here, so they'll be watching to give a big loose ball to the guy streaking down out of the bench, or out of the box. Radbourne up front. They're up top with the ball. Swings it down to Verutis at the crease. Tries to hit Nagy in front of the net. And Radbourne picks it up.
When the player comes out of the bench, they could have had a fast break opportunity, but just couldn't get the ball to him. Nagy providing the pressure there.
Randall does a nice ball, but Nagy does even a better job stripping the player unaware. And Weber picks it up. Over to Nagy. Nagy works his way in front. Nice shot, but Andrew Lagana stands tall. The Wild do a nice job, pick up the ball again. They get a fresh 30.
And Lagana's, he's putting together a very decent second period here. He's faced a lot of shots, but fundamentally he's holding his position right and being in the right place and making some decent saves.
Oh, Ryan Smart working for a loose ball there, does a nice job behind the net, but they couldn't come up with it, and Lakers do get it back. They feed it up to Grandal, who's pushing it up the floor. Swings it over to Churchill, but he loses the handle trying to feed Ferguson. Hudson with the ball now for the Wild. Brings it up to Drominski. Drominski being pressured there by Kangas. But the Wild get it back. Drominski in front. Crease violation by Drominski. Didn't have a lot of room there to work with, but got the shot off nonetheless. Nice save by Lagana.
Yeah, definitely some nice defense there. They pushed Drominski right into the crease there, getting the call they needed to nullify the threat.
A little bit open floor for the Peterborough Lakers, bringing it up. That was Bradshaw swinging it back to Churchill. Robinson working the boards, but he couldn't come up with that loose ball. Leibold picks it up over to Hahn.
Riley Caldwell with a bit of a late hit there. We've seen that called a couple of times in the first. The refs maybe deciding to let that go, or maybe just seeing it's not a...
Cal Davis again with the break, and he makes no mistake, and he makes it, closes the gap to 6-4 here on, referees letting him play a little bit on that play there, Jason, but Cal Davis gets his second of the goal on transition.
Yeah, just faked to Chenier's left, came back with the right. Chenier trying to get the stick up, but it was too little, too late. Well-placed shot there, and it's 6-4 now as Lakers are just slowly chipping away at this lead.
For all the action we've had here in the second period, that is only the second goal, one apiece by each side, and Cal Davis with a big, timely goal, I'd say. Is he got the third goal and now the fourth goal of this game for the Peterborough Lakers.
Mm-hmm. And both on the breakaway there.
He does a great job trying to create and picking up those loose balls on the top of that defense. And they pick up the loose ball here again. They're bringing it up, but interference call there. Looks like on Lagana behind the net.
Yeah, he didn't quite have himself set to make that pick, so he kind of reached out as a Wild player was running past. It's known as a moving pick.
So Berger with the ball over to Buller. Buller looked to drive in front, just misses on that nice drive to the net.
Buller took a basket off the cage there on his drive to the net. No call from the referees.
Yeah, looks like the whistle's been put in the pocket here for a little bit on those.
Quite possibly. With 5 minutes left to go in the second, that's a little bit too early, but...
Now Wyman with the ball, brings it up over center, and he'll go to the bench. Over to Finoro. Finoro down to Buller. Buller up to Berger. Berger looking for some room. Works his way to the center of the net. Takes a drive and a nice save by Lagana, but it goes up and out of bounds, and it'll be Wilmot Wild ball again here, just under 5 minutes left in the second period. And errant pass there to Drominski. And Berger tries to set a pick, but he gets called for the interference, and he's limping off the floor.
Yeah, quick pass by Buller to Drominski from the corner. I don't think Drominski was ready for it. Just sailed past him. And that's the type of, I don't want to call it carelessness because it was a well-thought play. It's just the type of turnovers that the Wild need to avoid here in the second. Get out of this period and maintain the lead, or even try and get a few more as we got some action going on in the corner here.
Well, possession is so key in this game. If you got the ball in your stick, you got a much better chance of scoring a goal than the other team. So, here it looks like the Peterborough Lakers are maybe getting a little bit of an edge. And now they're getting an interference call, and then Churchill takes a shot after the whistle, and he's being called for the late shot. I thought he was calling Churchill, but it looks like big Adamo.
Sorry, Matt Adams.
Yeah, I think that's a typo. I think it's a Adamo for that, but I could be wrong. But nonetheless, he's going to sit for 2.
And even after the whistle, well after the whistle, the Lakers still letting the shot go. Chenier just not liking that and not appreciating that, along with some of his teammates.
Yeah, I thought that's what they were calling, but calling the hold, it looked like. And the Wild will have a chance to restore that 3-goal lead there. And Drominski has a look in front, but just can't cash in. Oh, he did get a reset out of that, Jason.
Yeah,
Must
and
have got a
ball
piece
back
of
up.
the goal. Up to Radburn. And a little bit of target practice looked like on that shot. Not much of a scoring opportunity, but
No, definitely not. I mean, they need to get Lagana moving a little bit here. They're making it look easy for him the last few trips up the floor with shots in the breadbasket.
great job by Grandel. Brings it up over and finds some open floor and dishes it off to Churchill. Churchill drives it down the left-hand side. Takes a shot from the wrong side of the floor, maybe just looking for a rebound off of that, but Chenier scoops it up.
Yeah, quite often you'll see the players try with that low percentage shot, grab the rebound and get a reset.
And ideally you don't want him taking a shot from that side, but that was done with some purpose. And taking it with your stick on the wrong side of the floor does protect you from the defender, so there's some reason behind that.
Yep.
Which we don't often give our lacrosse players a lot of credit for thinking on the floor, but they do tend to come up with some pretty good plays. So 30 seconds left in the penalty here, and about 15 seconds on the shot clock for the Peterborough Lakers as they'll look to see if they can get a reset here or a scoring opportunity. Working the ball behind the net. Looks like Caldwell. And he just misses the net there, trying to get a reset. And just 9 seconds left on the penalty as Nagy's being pressured by Caldwell.
Trying to create some space here.
As Adamo will be coming out of the box. Trying to get back in the offensive set, and they just miss Ryan Smart in front of the net. Loose ball in the corner. Looks like the Lakers have come up with it.
Yeah, big Adamo coming down the floor now.
He peels out. Dishes it off, and he heads for the bench. Cal Davis with the ball. Swings over the right side, looks for Robinson in front of that. Nice feed, pick and roll, but Chenier closes the door. Ryan Smart over to Kuntz.
That was a
Kuntz brings it over. He's looking for Radburn coming from the bench. Just misses him. Well, he would have been on the wrong side of the floor himself, but Drominski picks up the ball in the corner as he tries to break free.
I think at this stage in the game, the Wild really need to kind of slow it down a little bit. They're the ones with the lead. They seem to want to force it a little bit too much. And like you said, making passes to a player who'll be on the wrong end of the floor. Loose passes like this that cause quick turnovers at center floor.
And speaking of a turnover there, 30-second violation. Gives the ball back to the Lakers. And we're approaching last minute of play in the second period here in Game 4 of the 2018 Junior C Championships on JVI Sports Network. And Weaver picks up the ball for the Wild. But he smartly peels it out and looks at his offensive teammates out on the floor. But good job by the Lakers working that shot clock down. About 10 seconds now, and Smart tries to feed it over to Buller. Buller beats his man, tries to drive to the net, works his way for a shot, but just misses the net. Out of bounds. 30 seconds left here, and Coach Dave Baker calls for the timeout from the Peterborough Laker bench, and they will get the final possession here, if all goes well for them, here in the second period.
I'll tell you, you watch Ryan Buller with 5 seconds left on the shot clock, with two Peterborough Lakers draped all over him. He was still able to gain footage towards the net and still get a shot, overhead shot with some velocity on Lagana. Like that's a strong play right there that Buller has shown us all year long that he's capable of doing.
Yeah, Buller missed game 1 and 2. for the Wild. Came back in game 3, still getting his legs, but he looks sharp here today, and he's been a big difference. Another big weapon there who can use his size and has a good shot, an accurate shot, and knows where the back of the net is.
Definitely.
So we'll see. Lagana's going to head back to the net for now. But they got 6 runners on the net, on the floor, so.
Cal Davis is heading off.
Going back to the bench.
That's surprising. Typically when you have possession with less than 30. Oh, and now it looks like Lagana is going to be coming. They're waving at him.
Yeah, I'll see if he just dishes it off, and he's going to go to the bench now. So we'll be 6-on-5 here, and they're going to be trying to work that right down to the last few seconds here because that net's open. We've seen all too often what can happen on a loose ball and a wide open net. So Cal Davis with the ball up top. 10 seconds now, so they're going to be running their play. Carter Page drops it up to Robinson, and he snipes one from the outside with 4 seconds left. And that's a huge goal, well drawn up, and who else do you give it to but the guy with the big shot up top?
The hot hand for sure. Robinson is just, he's almost unstoppable at this point. Like game 3, his numbers were phenomenal. And just the shot here, as we see on the replay, Robinson coming around, taking the pass, 2-step, and just whips it past Chenier, who was out to challenge that shot, but Robinson put the ball exactly where he needed to.
Yeah, Churchill and Davis doing their work up top to try and seal off those top defenders and create that lane for Robinson up front as well too, and not only sealing them off, but probably being a little bit of a screen as well too.
Yeah,
so
definitely.
Big goal by the Peterborough Lakers here late in the second period, but the Wild still have the 6-5 lead after 2 periods. So we're going to take a break here with the second intermission. We'll be back in 10 minutes with third period action of this exciting Game 4 of the 2018 Junior C playoffs on the JVI Sports Network. Time 2008, and it goes out of bounds, and it'll be Peterborough Laker ball. 29 seconds left in the offsetting penalties. We got Adam Churchill with the ball, working with Ferguson on the right side. Ferguson picks up that rebound as they get a fresh 30 to work with. Works his way along the crease, pulls it out. Looks to see what the left side of the floor will do and gets it over to Caldwell. Caldwell to Page. And he tries a nice backhand shot, but Chenier, good positioning on that, makes the save.
Yeah, he kept that backhander quite low, too. That could have been very dangerous.
Oh, we're back to 5-on-5, Jason. Less than 8 minutes left here in the overtime. Vrudis over to Draminsky. Draminsky to Nagy. Nagy, a little stutter step, trying to get around his man. He gets the edge. And he gets tied up. Nice slide by Davis to give some help. And they corral the loose ball. As Robinson has the ball for the Lakers.
Peterborough definitely starting to make it difficult for Wilmot to move around in the offensive zone. The defense has really tightened it up. And Lagana is starting to close that door.
Robinson with a big shot, wide outside, and Liebold does a great job picking it up, but Ferguson pressuring him with the loose ball, and he loses it. Back up to around center, and Mr. Crowley picks it up for the Lakers.
That's a great tune.
Been waiting all day to use that one. And the Lakers, Robinson with the ball. I think he's looking to shoot here, but he hits it over to the crease to Bradshaw. And Bradshaw does a nice job working in to get a shot, but Chenier makes a nice save. And the Wild have their chance here now to even the score here.
And the Wild just need to, even though this is the first time they trailed in the game, they just need to stick with what has worked for them. Effective ball movement, keep moving to the net.
And Berger works his way into the net and gets a tight angle shot with the rebound, but he's rewarded with drawing an interference call, and the Wild get the ball back.
Yeah.
Buller has come up big in this game, but he loses handle on the ball. Matt Smith picks it up. He's got to step on Buller. Buller racing back to help. And Smith gets off a shot, but Chenier makes another nice save. As Wyman has the ball now for the Wild, as they look for a better offensive set here. As they're going to be less and less as the clock dwindles down here to try and even up this game. Vrudis gets a step. Nice play by Vrudis, but Lagana makes himself big up top and makes a nice save.
Yeah, great save by Lagana and not showing much pressure too, just holding the fort and holding his position, making things difficult for Vrudis.
Churchill swings it over to Caldwell. Nice try there by the Lakers, swinging it across the floor, back and forth and cross crease, but couldn't quite handle it. And Best corrals it for the Wild. Brings it up to Fenoro. Fenoro over to Smart. Smart tries to drive towards the net, pulls it out, swings it out around. He's gonna look for Berger up top. Berger over to Best. Best takes a shot, but it's blocked by Cal Davis. Still a loose ball, that'll be a 30-second, but now it'll be play on as the Lakers corral the ball just as a 30-second clock expires here. 4.5 minutes left to go in the first overtime. The Lakers looking to add to their lead. Caldwell drives to the net, and Chenier makes a nice save.
And Caldwell's down, and he thundered into the cement.
Yeah, he gets back up. Another display of
tough kid.
Toughness by their great Ontario Lacrosse players. And Draminsky! Oh, isn't that the way it goes? Off the post, off the back of Lagana, but stays out.
Lagana getting a piece of it. A great effort by Draminsky.
Great action here in the overtime. And Robinson with a big shot from outside, and Chenier calm, cool, and collective, makes the save and corrals that ball. We'll see when if he has to start heading to the bench at some point.
Yeah, it's the coaching staff, Miller and Rick, are probably already considering that.
Buller tries an outside blast and misses the net, and Davis picks it up and pushes it up. And wisely, Carter Page comes to pick up the ball for the Lakers, and he beats his man and swings it down to the crease. The Lakers on a loose ball pick it back up as the shot clock's working down to about 4 seconds. Take an outside shot, and Chenier makes a stop and corrals the loose ball. Under 3 minutes left here.
Yeah, Peterborough's definitely taking charge of this overtime session here. Wild are going to need to start pulling out all the stops if they want to try and even up this game.
Finoro tries to hit Drominski, but intercepted there, but the loose ball's corralled by Bess. And picked up by Finoro, and Finoro takes an outside shot. Drominski scores! And the Wild tie it up with 2.5 minutes. Rookie of the year comes up with probably his biggest goal of the year and ties it up.
Finally, here you see some sustained pressure by the Wild. Finoro letting an underarm shot, and Drominski just getting the rebound and putting it up and over Lagana.
Yeah, some similarities there to the tying goal for Carter Page for the Peterborough Lakers when he tied up 8-8. A shot that goes wide, big rebound, and very opportunistic. Sam Drominski in that case makes no mistake. Big goal for the Wild. 2.5 tough minutes coming up here in the first overtime. Battle against the boards. The Wild and the Lakers come up with it. Some great work by the Peterborough Laker ball team. But it's Zister comes up with a big ball for the Wild.
And Buller very wisely slows things down here, allows the rest of the offense to catch up. Smarty did not see that pass coming his way, and now we got a turnover. Very costly.
No, every possession is so key in these stages of the game. And those kind of turnovers could come back to haunt you. So Caldwell with the ball on the left side of the floor, working against Buller. Swings it across. That's like Ferguson, comes around, makes the save. S picks it up. Up to Berger.
And that's what we're going to need to see out of this Wilmot defense. Keeping those Lakers out to the point, challenging the shot, making things difficult for them.
Vrudis over to Radburn. Radburn tries to feed Nagy going to the net, but he's clamped down on, and a loose ball picked up by the Lakers. And Berger doing some hard work there in the crease, but he gets called for a crease violation on the loose ball. And it's Laker ball as they bring it up with 1 minute left here in the first overtime.
Berger tied up in the back end there.
Robinson
just getting to
with
the bench
the ball.
now.
Finds a streaking Carter or Bradshaw to Caldwell, and he scores. Some ball movement there as the defense couldn't quite get set for the Wild, and some good ball movement. And the Wild have played a lot of entertainment, not just for 60 minutes, for almost 70 minutes here in this game, but 48, a big 48 seconds here for the Wild, but with a key possession. So he's getting called for withholding the ball. It's like Buller took a chop trying to free up that ball.
Yeah, check the player when he was on the ground.
And yeah,
it looks
somebody
like Buller's
went
getting
out.
the gate.
So I think that will probably give the ball back to the Peterborough Lakers with less than 30 seconds left.
Yeah, we see there's the big scrum with the player on top of the ball. They're trying to get it loose. And Buller just missing the stick, kind of hitting the lower lumbar region of the Laker player, and that's got him the gate.
Yeah, uncalled for there by Ryan Bullard. He's played a heck of a game, but you know, win or lose, you got to show some restraint.
Absolutely, absolutely, because with the, especially with the shot clock winding down, Mark, you're going to regain possession. There's 28 seconds left on the clock. You have an opportunity to come down the floor and even up this game. Instead, he's got an early shower.
So they're discussing nothing up on the clock yet. So they'll be pressing here. The Wild will be on the Lakers. Might even pull Chenier here and try and go match up man-on-man here, 5-on-5, because, I mean, you really got to take away any chance the Lakers have of finding an open man. So that may be a consideration, but I haven't seen Chenier head to the bench.
No.
No, 5-minute call, probably a 5-minute slash.
And the Wild coaching staff are requesting a timeout here, finally.
Yeah, so they're going to call a timeout. They're going to set up some strategy here, see what they can do. Maybe a little prayer at the bench as well, too.
Yeah, they're gonna have to reach deep into their bag of tricks here, shorthanded, with 28 seconds left to try and get this tied up.
Yeah, so here we go, asking for some clarification. But nonetheless, let's give another shout out to JVI Sports Network here, who's done a bang-up job in producing lacrosse games for us in this, for us to enjoy. And I believe this one's being live streamed as well too. So I'm sure all the Peterborough fans here are chewing on their nails and going 30 seconds here, bring home a 3-1 lead, boys. But
yeah, the Peterborough fans came in droves on an afternoon game on a Sunday. We'll see if that'll be different if it was a Thursday night 8 p.m. game. But that's the way that it goes with the schedule sometimes. The visiting fans have been able to enjoy some afternoon affairs. The Wild they're up in Peterborough in the evenings during the week. A lot of these players are working throughout the summer or working full-time jobs, and it can be a bit of a challenge to make these arrangements. But the Peterborough fans are definitely here in droves, as you probably could hear their Tide Pod shakers and things like that.
So Chenier is out of the net. 5 runners on 5. And the Lakers pull back, trying to kill time off the clock here. As Churchill feeds it up to Davis, and Davis now has an open net, and he seals the deal as the Lakers make it a 2-goal lead with 17 seconds left. Wild really didn't have much they could do on that. Try and press the ball. Hope for a Lucy, then they got to pick it up and then try and drive the ball down the net. So it looks like the Lakers are going to be going back for Game 5 up in Peterborough on Tuesday night, I believe.
Yeah, on Tuesday up at the Peterborough Memorial Complex.
And, of course, JVI will be there and have all your action for you. And I believe Jim Watson's going to be back on the play-by-play up there with Rob Martinell doing the color commentary. As we get down to the winding seconds here. A heck of a game. Both teams left everything on the floor. I think in the end, the Peterborough Lakers really got some bounces go their way and a couple of breaks that they cashed in on. But this game could have gone either way, Jason.
Absolutely, and credit to the Peterborough Lakers. They never gave up, trailing in the game the entire 2 periods up to the last goal in the third to force the overtime. And what was a tight overtime. The score doesn't necessarily reflect that with the empty netter, but a tight overtime contested. And we will be seeing Game 5 in Peterborough on Tuesday.
And that's it for us here at the Wilmot Rec Complex. I'm Mark Schutzkowski for Jason Chenier and the entire JVI crew. Thanks for tuning in. We'll see you in Game 5 up in Peterborough.